Yeah.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I've been better.
Well, tell me what's been going on. I know you had a baby. What's it been? Man, 8 months ago now. How you been feeling?
Yeah. I didn't think adding a fifth kid into the mix would be such a difficult situation, but it's really been really hard and just I'm exhausted and I have no energy and it's just things are just not the way they used to be anymore.
Okay, so you've had just less energy. What are some other things that have happened since you've been home with the baby?
I just sometimes it's just hard to get out of bed. Most days are a struggle, if anything, and you know, forget even trying.
Yeah. Well, there can be a
There.
lot of there can be a lot of problems associated with this. Um, a lot of times, especially we talk about depression, especially after childbirth. It's called postpartum depression, and it happens kind of more often than people would think. And it's something that can really affect our lives.
Hmm.
Have you felt like you kind of been staying by yourself or isolating?
Yeah, I can't tell you when the last time it was I left the house. It's been a long while.
Okay, all right. What about your relationship with your husband? How's that been
Uh,
going?
I don't know. He says things haven't been the same, and he just wants them to kind of go back to the way it was. But it's just I kind of don't know what he means in a sense, but
Mhm.
you know.
Right. So things being the same like it was before. You've had quite a bit of drastic change since
Hmm.
the last one. Okay. Um, what about the relationship with your other children? How has that been going? 'Cause I know it's going to have a lot more impact. How's that been going?
Yeah, I just sometimes find it hard to really be able to bond with them and hang out with them because I'm just, the baby has taken my most of my time all day, and then if not, I want to sleep and I just don't want to do anything or interact with anybody either. So,
One thing we look at, especially after having a baby, is probably um, what we call postpartum depression. Um, fits a lot of what you've been talking about, and we see some problems associated with this. You said you've seen isolation. Another big thing we see at is a decrease in your physical health,
mhm.
especially when you're not feeling like you should. How has your appetite been?
Mm, kind of little decrease, nothing really, you know, I rather not have to take the energy and effort to feed myself. So I don't eat much every day because it's more of a hassle than it is, you know.
Okay. What about just daily activities, getting up, getting around? How's that been affected?
Yeah, most days I don't even get in the shower and I barely get out the house. It's been forever. So I don't.
All right. One of the things we want to look at when we're looking at kind of depression a little bit is there's some things that we look at first because I mean studies have shown that some of the major problems, especially with having postpartum depression, is not only the depression comes along with it, but thoughts of suicide or harming anybody. Have you ever had any thoughts of suicide with this?
No, not really. I mean, there's some days where I'm just kind of like down in the dumps and I don't really kind of know what's going on.
Well, safety is our first and foremost primary concern, okay? And so, I mean, if you're having any kind of feelings or thought like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call me at any time you need to about these, or I mean, there's 1-800 numbers, crisis lines you can get a hold of if anything ever like that crosses your mind or anything, and something you need to talk about. Because a lot of times we begin to bottle this up, and
Okay.
it's like we don't ever want to talk about it. Sometimes it seems like there's a stigma associated with it, especially after having a baby. It's like, well, I should be happy go lucky. We've got a new child. And so I
Mhm.
should be happy. And I'm not. And it may seem a little bit unnormal, but it happens so often. And you see these relationship problems. Like you said, you've had problems with your relationship now. Your husband wants you to get back to normal like you were. And we
Mhm.
see it's a hard time or hard task to do that a lot of times because we don't even feel like it. And the
Right.
depression can keep us down. It keeps bottled up. And then your relationship with your other kids. I mean, we see how that's been affected. And so we see not only the postpartum depression affecting the mother, but we also see it affecting the family through this as well. Another thing that we also look for is the relationship between the older siblings and the new child. What kind of relationship is developing there? Do we see resentment happening with the older kids kind of resenting the new babies taking time away from mommy? And so there's a lot of things that we want to look at when we're talking about this. But first and foremost is we want to take care of you.
Mhm.
Okay? We want you to be happy, healthy, all right? Because if you're a happier, healthier person, you can pass that along also. What are some things that make you happy or kind of feel relaxed? Because a lot of times this stuff can cause tension. What are some things you can do?
I think just getting together with some friends,
Okay.
having that laughter and that social aspect that just hasn't been there for some time.
Okay. Getting out, talking with someone, a good group of people, it is an
Mhm.
awesome thing to do. And it can be very relaxing and calming and just get you away for a little bit. Okay. Um, some things that I want you to focus on is the following when you can. Number one, I want you to exercise when you can. You say,
Okay.
well, I know you may not be able to find a whole lot of time to exercise, but when you can, I want you to exercise. Why do you say exercise? Exercise be very beneficial, not only for our physical health, but our mental health. That also, I mean, we see hormones released and it can increase our mood and we see happier, okay? A little bit more relaxed, especially after you feel pretty good. Another thing, I want you to maintain a healthy diet. Okay? Said kind of your diet's been lacking a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, not only for you but for your kids also. Okay. Another one, create time for yourself. A lot of times where we have to have that. Get with your husband, find out exactly what you can do. Is there something that you can look at together? Set some side of time so you can be by yourself because you need some of that me time, like that spending time with your friends, or just going out and just taking a breather, just taking a walk around. Okay. Another thing, kind of on the nutritional level, fish oil. Get plenty of fish oil. Research has shown the following that women, especially who have lower omega 3 fatty acids, actually has an increased chance of postpartum depression. So if you're not a big seafood fan, there are pills or something like that. But just, these are some different ideas that you might be able to try to see if they work. Okay.
Mhm.
And if these aren't working, some of these ideas, next time we meet, we'll talk to you maybe about looking at maybe some kind of antidepressant medication that we can look at. But I want to try these kind of first to see where we are.
Okay.
Get out, get out in the sun. Get out of the house. Get out in the sun. Sun has vitamin D. Vitamin D help you feel better. Great for your mood too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any
I could do that.
questions? All right. Any questions, Miss Sam?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you need anything, you just give me a holler. Okay.
I will. Thank
All
you.
right. Just try these things, and I'll see you next time. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.